Well, hello everybody. I'm shooting this video. I start night shift tonight. I had a interview Canada to Canada wide on Twitter Spaces last night. Went at it with the Crown hard. Folks asking about content and why I've gone silent for the last 48 hours. Folks, I've been officially censored Canada wide. I have a video for all those who participated in my live. It exists on my timeline. It is not viewable by the Canadian public. You can't watch it. You can't see it. It goes through deep corruption of both the Liberal Party of Canada and absolutely the Conservative Party of Canada. I have highlighted in that video that is censored. When I say that, folks, I'm not myth-busted. I'm not fact-checked. I'm not sent out as a lie. It's truthful. It's literally, folks, I am censored. The content is censored. 30 of my friends and followers who joined me in that live are the only views that video will ever see. I can't bring up that content. I can't talk about Jordan Peterson and the tremendous lies by the Conservative Party of Canada that the Liberals have backed up too. I have three acts made into law done in the federal parliament. They were done over the course of the last 6 months, one of which has to do with the United States of America and a president that I can't talk about. I can't give you the content, or this video will be censored too. My last video goes in tremendous corruption and detail of both the Liberals and Conservatives. But if I speak out of my mouth the contents of that, I'll get another censorship warning on my video, and none of the public will get to see the video. I don't know what I'm allowed to say anymore and what I'm not allowed to say. It's all obviously 100% truthful, or they would give you a content that this is misinformation or disinformation or an absolute lie. They would say that, and I would get a warning on my Facebook. But literally, as everyone who was in the video yesterday, and I know because people told me, I had a pop-up that said this content is censored. It exactly said that. This content cannot be viewed by the public. That's what I got. This is Canada. And it was all on the dark power of the Conservatives telling you a pile of lies. Dr. Jordan Peterson purposefully hiding behind the Crown, utilizing the Crown for himself. And you will find the Conservative, Liberal, NDP, PPC, Bloc, Green, they all do it. It was done in South Africa forever and a day. The idea of Crown land forever and a day in a large amount of countries. No Crown can answer to any of you why. They cannot answer any legitimate questions on the fusion of the executive with the judiciary. We are not an independent judiciary. No matter how hard these cylindrical persons inside that first class try to narrate, no matter how much they read off the Governor General of Canada's website that was written by Chief Justice Wagner while he assumed that role. Highly corrupt, highly made political, independent judiciary. You can go all throughout the world. You can look at a majority of constitutions in the world today, and all of them address the idea of not fusing the executive to the judiciary. Unfortunately, in Canada, it is absolutely fused. Absolutely. We do not elect any justices. I'm going to say it again for all those who choose not to read. If you haven't read the 154 pages of the Constitutional Acts of Canada, consolidated, Lewis and Holes on the government website, go do it. Don't listen to any justices, any lawyers in Canada telling you about 1982, especially conservatives. And I'm going to make a point about that on this video. So far, it's going. I'm not getting censored, so I have to be careful how I say things and what I say. But folks, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, Liberal Party of Canada, crafted and made the 1982 Charter of Rights and Freedoms that Quebec didn't sign on. Don't listen to any justices, any lawyers with the Canadian bar. I have, from the Supreme Court of Canada, confirmation that what I'm saying to you right now is the truth. And in their words, this is the Supreme Court of the United States, who's in a lot of trouble right now. Their executive is going after them too. They want to remove the independent judiciary. And in their words, they said this to me in real email by the woman who is their public representative. All 9 justices. So it didn't matter Democrat or Republican justice, whom are all basically elected because they have to go through a Senate public screening, meaning they're made public to all Americans. And they're the only justices going through that system. The rest are absolutely elected in the United States of America, for and by the people. In Canada, it is the dark power of the Crown that does that. Do you know what their justices say to all of you, to me? Don't listen to Canadian lawyers and justices. Don't allow them to write your Constitution or put legal speak in any Constitution you would craft. Plain speak. What is written is widely accepted by anybody reading it. Layman's terms, average Joe Jane terms. Don't let lawyers write your Constitution. So folks, what we're building in this party, what I bring forward of the Crown, is 100% the truth. They don't say it's fake. They don't myth bust it. They don't call it a lie. They circle around the House of Commons and absolutely the 1982 Charter that isn't worth the paper it's written on. Because at the end of the 1982 addition to all the acts of every province ever confederated, much documentation, again, 154 total consolidated pages. At the very end, if you didn't get it throughout, it tells you in the last 3 lines of our Constitution, you're all subjects, and subjects are not in the Constitution. You're subject to the first class, who is bound and cemented in the Constitutional Acts of Canada. All the Crown positions are articulated in the Constitutional Acts of Canada. Their ultimate power, 2/3 of the Constitution, from the preamble all the way through the first 2/3, tells you who is the people the Constitution represents and who isn't. And I'll tell you who isn't. You, all the third-class subjects, all the second-class subjects, you're subject to the first class, who is codified and written in the Constitutional Acts of Canada. You know who else isn't in the Constitutional Acts of Canada? All treaty Indians, all unceded Indians, according to the Indian Act, all the ICC, the Inter-Circumferential Polar Council, which is the Arctic, they're all not in there either, because they too are founded and crafted and bound to the 1876 Indian Act. You know who else? Métis. All Métis are born and bred out of the Indian Act. Not Aboriginal as written in the 1982. It's a fraud. It's a wordsmith's trick. It's legal speak that basically undoes everything they say. There is no legal term Aboriginal. If you don't believe me, go look at the Income Tax Act of Canada. You have to be called Indian Act Indian. All of you. Or nothing applies. And they even tell you, this is the law and legal speak in Canada. There is no Indigenous, there's no Aboriginal, and there certainly isn't Canadian citizens. Even the Citizenship Act tells you this, that before you can become, quote unquote, a citizen, you have to swear an oath of allegiance becoming a subject in Canada. And what does that mean? It means you get removed from the constitutional acts of Canada. You're now subject to the first class. That's why we all have to swear an oath of allegiance. There is no true democracy in Canada. Bill C-11 is in full swing. If you say the wrong words that trips the algorithms, your content is censored, which happened to me yesterday. There's things I can't share now on the world stage that literally, folks, 8.2 to every 1 gets to watch, see, and participate in, but not any Canadians, not any subjects, not just Canadian subjects, all subjects within the realm of the Commonwealth attached to the UK. They had that done, and USA's Joe Biden agreed to have that done. They, through the UNSC rep Linda Thomas Greenfield, the UK rep Barbara Woodward, 2 UNSC reps, and 2 Commonwealth sworn countries out of the 15 members of the United Nations Security Council, 4 against 11, and of those 11, 3 are UNSCP5 members, meaning they had penmanship. But USA and UK got together and said, no American and no Commonwealth citizen will hear any of this content. If it is spoken on any media platforms in the Western narrative, you'll be censored. I was censored. I spoke on the Conservative Party of Canada. I spoke on a great lie told by Jordan Peterson. Justin Trudeau, who's Prime Minister of Canada, Mary Simon is his Governor General. They had the application put in. They protected the dark power of the Conservative Party of Canada, whom is Pierre Poilievre, whom right now is His Majesty's official opposition leader and more a lifetime Privy Council member. Sworn to obey, sworn to secrecy, sworn to screw every Canadian subject and every first person defined in the Indian Act as a savage, not a human being. There is no deals they're legally allowed to do. They're doing them anyway. The deals they make on First Nations in land settlement and doing away with genocide, cultural, children, and economic, they can't make those deals, not in international law, but they're doing it anyway. And right now, it is USA and UK who are allowing this to go on. We have never seen, I repeat, never since World War II, this to ever occur with the Allies, never mind USA and UK. And USA, for the first time in its history since World War II, have they ever censored we the people from reality of the world stage as it really is. And folks, while the average Canadian pays 12 cents a year to be on the UNSC and to see the UNSC live and get all that tremendous knowledge, apparently that doesn't matter anymore. Your government's decided that no, you will not hear the going-ons on the international stage in real international law. It will be kept from you. Folks, whether you like Russia or not, whether you like China or not, or whether you like what the French people are doing in France right now, fighting for their rights and winning, the government allowed them to see that truth. All the world, again, 8.2 out of 10 get to see that truth. We, the less than 1 in 10, don't get to see it. Are we really a first world country? Are we really a democracy? The answer is no. I have much content cut, and my last video is not viewable publicly. I can't share the details of it. I'm not allowed to speak it. I can't highlight the corruption of Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre over the last 6 months in 3 House of Commons bills that remove you, the people, from any realm of truth or any stage of at least having a conversation about certain things we can't speak of. And it's detrimental to all of you. Share this video, get it out. I know it sucks that I can't go into detail. It sucks that I can't share for you what I've seen and what I've been going through and what I'm going to be going through on the 10th. I won't be allowed to share it. And you should all be terrified, because the dark, evil crown power utilized by Adolf Hitler as Chancellor of Germany under the President of Germany is being utilized today in Canada. It's being utilized today, trying to trick all the chiefs across Canada into giving away their human rights. Their human rights, bound forever and a day, and Canada's saying, give it away. All the subjects of Canada, we're going to take away your human rights. We're going to do it through the dark crown power, and you will like it and you will accept it. That's what's happening right now today. And we can't even speak on the tremendous details you all need to know. I can't even highlight it, or the video will be shut down. It will be censored, not for being a lie, not for being misinformation or disinformation, but because the Crown doesn't want you all to know. I'm motivated larger than ever after my Twitter spaces yesterday, after watching my content censored and told that this is censored, and all those who witnessed were told during that video, this is censored content. Only those who watched the video yesterday live, participating in it, got to see it. 30 people, 30 views. That's all I got in that video time before they shut her down. And nobody will ever hear that content again. And again, if I try to tell all of you it, they'll just censor the next video. Share, share, share. Get it out there. I'm going to try and creatively get the content to you. I may record the video and put it up on YouTube. I see, as Mark O'Reilly shared the content, YouTube hasn't removed it yet. We do get to see it at least on YouTube, at least for now. I don't know how long that's going to stay up. I could try to record my video and show all Canadians and First Peoples the truth of the evil dark power utilized and agreed to by both Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre, done months ago with Joe Biden's America, frauding you, the people, taking away your democracy, the illusion of democracy, the illusion of a multi-party system. It's only multi-party when you, the people, are down with it. When you're not down with it, they use the dark power of the Crown every time. Stephen Harper did it 7 times during his prime ministership. So far, Justin Trudeau's done it 11 times. And Pierre Poilievre was through all those 7. He was there for the China deal. He was there for much, much more in the corruption and politicization of our Supreme Court, which again, you can read the Constitutional Acts of Canada. You'll find out who regulates the justices, who allows the justices to rule, and when. This goes for those who are the Crown that tell the superior courts of the provinces and territories what they can rule on, how they're going to rule on it, and what remedies they can make available. Anytime the Crown wants to, they can do this. If you don't believe me, and you don't want to read the Constitutional Acts of Canada, I suggest you read the Supreme Court of Canada Act. There it will tell you everything you need to know about justices in the Supreme Court, how they get there, how they're regulated, what they have to do. The very undemocratic Crown colonial power. More than this, read the Judges Act of Canada. That's for all the other justices, again, who aren't elected. They're appointed by the Crown. And who's the Crown? It's either federally for the Governor General of Canada or it's provincially Lieutenant Governor. But it is Lieutenant Governor. We use the old UK pronunciation that isn't even in the spelling. That's how pathetic our country really is. And for people to highlight that in the Crown and make that their platform and stump to stand on, that you can't even pronounce the word right, you pronounce it like an American. Well, it's written like an American, because what you put in the noun and what is the definition are completely opposite. And it's disgusting. It's a lie forever and a day. All lawyers, all justices who got their bar in Canada tell these gross lies of the Crown. You will hear justices and professors of law in Canada tell you the preamble, the preliminary of the Canadian Constitution, your introduction to your country, oh, we don't follow that. We're told in law school, ignore it. Oh, really? Do you think foreign powers ignore that? Do you think organizations ignore that? Do you think when the Governor General Mary Simon, who they tell you is just a symbolic representative of Crown, how symbolic is it when they open and close the Parliament? You can't open or close the Parliament unless they sign it off. You can't pass any act. You can't present any bill without the Governor General of Canada. Did you know you can't get paid? Any first-class Crown can't get paid from the consolidated funds. And when I say funds, it's because there's two. There's a federal and a provincial. And these actors don't want you to know this stuff. But we are going to give it to the Canadian people, all the first people, for the first time ever in a federal platform for all Canadians. And I don't care how many lawyers try to stomp on us, how many try to lie and bring you all back to the 1982 Charter, especially the Conservatives like Derek Sloan and many, many others, like the one I dueled yesterday live. Folks, why would you be a Conservative bragging about the Charter of Rights and Freedoms crafted by the Liberal Party of Canada? Why would that be the go-to all the time? Why is it whenever you highlight the 1867 Part 5, Section 58 provincial constitutions, why do all first-class Crown-sworn lawyers and justices immediately run away and run to the 1982 Charter and tell all of you that that is the end-all and be-all? I'll tell you why, folks. Because they don't want you to know that there are extremely mass amounts of rights and freedoms, powers of the people, waiting for you, locked away in that section. And they don't want you, the people, to have it. They want you to be good little subjects, good little savages, and trust your government to do for you. Don't worry, trust the Crown. We know how to rack up mass amounts of debt. We know how to print mass sums of money, enrich ourselves at absolutely you and your children's expense. If you haven't figured it out, folks, there are two ways of taxation. There's the direct fees and taxes you see that are legislated, like GST, carbon tax. We just had another uptick in our carbon tax. But then there's the Crown borrowing, the Crown deficits, the massive debts. People brag about Stephen Harper, who's a liar, a Crown-sworn liar. Oh, look, he didn't enact that many taxes. It was only a small amount compared to Trudeau's. Except for Stephen Harper racked up mass amounts of debt. He bailed out all the financial institutions in Canada at the expense of the taxpayer. You could add up Pierre Elliott Trudeau and all prior prime ministers of Canada, all the debts that they all together took on during their time, more than 125 years. Add them all together, and that was less than what Stephen Harper took out in 2008 and 9. No, he never ever did anything but crank up the debts of the people, which means printing mass amounts of money that led to the overrun in inflation today. The Justin Trudeau, like every other prime minister, said, oh yeah, I'm going to double what you did. Until the people get pissed off and they throw me out of office, then you'll elect another one who's only going to double down on every debt prior to them. That's what they do. The buck is going to stop, folks. It's going to come to an end. It's already there, the line in the sand. The children's generation of today, in massive majority, can't buy into the system of today. The overpriced housing, the overpriced property. Folks think that Canada's this big country. Almost 91% of it is not available to you, the people. It's the Crown's, federal and provincial Crown land. No, the First Peoples are not in charge of it. Sure, there's numbered treaties in a lot of Canada, but look at what they actually own. If you call it ownership, as they don't get any provincial powers. The government won't give them self-determination or self-government. What they actually have is 0.2% of Canada. You, all the Canadian subjects, get 9%. And of your 9%, 40% of that 9% of the country that is available to you is held by the first-class divine politicians elected or appointed, those in the civil societies under government who are first class, and they hold it forever and a day. You all get none of it. You are subject to it. And they change the goalposts whenever they want. They'll throw you off. They'll raise their interest rates. They'll cash you in and take it away in a snap of a finger. It's been done over and over in Canadian history. That is the evil, dark crown power they keep from you. China gives 20% of the country to the Chinese people under communism. Bad, pathetic, I don't like it. But Canadians, under Crown, you get 9%. First Peoples, 0.2%. Did you know all American Indians under self-determination, self-government, real codified constitutions with the power of a state of all 150 of their groups, they get the power of a state, meaning that's their property. They get mineral rights. They get natural resources. They get it all. All the powers that a province should get. They get. And they have 133% more land than all Canadians and all First Peoples. That's Arctic 2. All farmers. Well, what about farms? Go look at what's really available in Canada. Yes, a large portion was settled in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan getting the most. You can look at the small island province of PEI and say, yes, 60%'s made available to the people. But it's so small. It's such a small region. And when you look at Alberta, what's there, what's under government, it's not a whole lot. People say, oh, you can't farm that land. I just had a talk with a guy about Sundre, Alberta, where my family's from. Before it was a province, we got that initial release of land. My great-grandfather couldn't speak any English. He worked the railroad, got that land. Sorry, folks, it was all trees. They said you couldn't grow anything there either. They cleared the trees, they planted crops. It worked. You can go up to Peace River, where my parents bought their first farm. Same thing, clear the land, plant potatoes, plant corn, plant everything. It all worked, but it wasn't that way. And if you don't believe me, look at all the surrounding Crown land. What, these highways going through, these settled areas, magically were farmland? No, they were made farmland. Yes, there's the prairies of central Alberta, down south, but that's not a huge amount of Alberta, folks, and it can easily be cleared and made. Rights to natural resources belong to the provinces, and we allow the central government to take all of it away from us, enriching their wealthy foreign friends at our expense, and we do the cleanup. Share this video, get it out there. I wish I could go in tremendous more detail, but I'll just be censored. And that is now a fact in Canada. And it's a sad reality of a broken system, which is all parties, because I promise you the content I was censored on was absolutely corruption of the Conservative Party of Canada. Had a huge fight with first-class politicians, lawyers, liars, Canadian bar holders who are programmed to lie to all of you. You are the shit people. You are the subject to their boots. You are the shit on the bottom of their boots. And they believe this. They're brought up, raised into it. They go to school to learn that lie. And they perpetuate it on all of you. It's their right to cheat you at everything you're ever going to have. It's their right. They believe in their own divinity. It's garbage. It's wrong. It's disgusting. Share because this video has to go out. Share because it's credible, real, and verifiable. And we are going to teach all of you, the people, the power to hold them to account, to give you, the people, the power for the first time in Canadian history. All people, all Canadians, all First Peoples. We're going to clean up the swamp, the dirty Crown swamp that, yes, infects many chiefs in the Indian Act system. Yes, it corrupts every politician who gets involved. But we're going to teach you, the Canadian people and all First People, how to highlight that and make that power work from you. And they are deathly afraid. They are deathly afraid. We have Mary Simon, lieutenant governors around every province, the territorial commissioners, quickly moving to secure their evil crown to try and trick you all through King Charles III. It's disgusting. It's wrong. UK promises to destroy us. They always have, always will. We're designed as a colony. We're there to enrich them, not ourselves. We keep a first class rich, and they keep the UK rich. That is the sick truth. Contrary to everything that is America. And now we have a President, Joe Biden, signing off to that UK power, saying, I want global subjects of Americans. I want to be President Joe Biden, king of the world. That's what he wants. And it's not going to happen. They're losing fast. And you will see the flip in the American system. We will see it. It's only a matter of time before the Republicans take it back over and square away. But we have to be diligent. We have to fight for our country. Let me show you all how to do that. Share. Get this video out there. Only you can make a difference. Only you can make change. And there's only so much they're going to allow me to do publicly before they shut me down. It's already happening. We're losing our democracy extremely fast. And the dark evil of the Crown is getting stronger and more bold, and they just don't care. They will destroy us. Whatever it takes. Sacrifice all for the benefit of the divine first class that's codified in the Constitutional Acts of Canada. 1867 to 1982 and beyond. Read it all, folks. Lewis and Hole's Government of Canada website. Take your time. Don't just read the Charter. Read all the consolidated acts, start to finish. Learn the truth. Empower yourself. Only you can learn civics. Don't listen to liars, which are lawyers, especially Canadian bar sworn lawyers. Read their oath of allegiance. Last night, this guy lied. Oh, the sovereign. Why don't you tell everybody the real oath, the full oath? I had a military guy last night sitting with me. I was on a bus doing that interview with about 40 tradespeople from all kinds of trades, and I had a former military guy come up to me and say, Dave, this was my oath, puts his hand on his heart, and he said, you know what I think? Nothing in that oath has anything to do with Canada, Canada's sovereignty, or Canada's people. Never mind First People. None of it. Does that sound like a proper oath of allegiance to a foreign power, a foreign divine human being? Where is Canada in that oath? Where's we the people? Where is anybody in Canada? Oh yeah, it's a divine first class in a far-off land. This was warned by many presidents in the United States. JFK, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan. Look what happened to all three of them. Look at all the civil rights activists. Look at what happened to them. It's sad. The power of this divine elite does not want to let it go. And like a wounded tiger, they're in a corner now and they're lashing out harder than ever before ever seen since World War II. And yes, it's scary, folks. It's scary. I don't know what to say. That's my video. Share, share, share. God bless. Bye now.